All right, let's talk about CW Arrowverse because there's some big changes coming next year. Notably, the real big one is that Superman and Lois is going to drop. That's going to be an interesting one. I think that show's going to come out strong with good ratings. I bet you over 1 million people watch it. At least over 1 million. Because it's Superman. Okay. Will they mess that show up, though? I think that they will. Superman and Lois raising twins, a little bit of a deviation from the Superman Rebirth books, which I think they're taking inspiration from. It's an interesting concept, but, Warner Brothers has no idea what to do with Superman because they can't, portray a strong man that's super patriotic, which is what Superman is. They have trouble doing that. That's one of the reasons why they've had trouble developing the character. But we'll see what happens. Interesting note real quick. Superman, I guess they're going to bring back Henry Cavill. I talked about this. I don't know if that's going to be 100% for sure, but Henry Cavill's popularity is through the roof right now thanks to The Witcher and a couple of other things. So they're going to bring him back and cancel that Supergirl movie because Supergirl, like Batwoman, their ratings have gone pretty much into the toilet. They're gone. Batwoman has had a huge drop off from when she first came out to where she is now. Like, it took Supergirl a couple of years to get so low. She used to, I guess, according to some people in my comments, have a good show, and then it got super woke, and now the ratings have just dropped off completely. Batwoman, it took no time to get there. It was all after that tabloid episode that I've made fun of where she had to come out and tell everyone in the world that Batwoman likes women. That was the big thing. And that's when 300,000 people just dipped out. Like, we're good. This show sucks. And that was after the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover thing that they had going on. They actually introduced the character to huge audiences through that show. And that show had a lot of hype because they brought back the Superman Returns, Superman, and all kinds of stuff. It was a big deal and had a lot of hype, and you still couldn't sell this character. It's just funny. She's a terrible character. So, kind of like with Supergirl. So, Supergirl has had the Superman that's going to be on the Superman and Lois show as a guest star several times. And they've kind of made him a wuss each time. He always kind of cucks down and simps for Supergirl and how great she is, and she's achieved greatness, and she's stronger than him now, and he's kind of the secondary hero. She's the bestest ever, and he's a nobody. And then, you look at the track record of what happens with the CW and their woke shows. That Superman show is likely probably going to be a disaster. But I don't know. The Flash, I guess, is a good show. I haven't watched it because I don't really care for a lot of these CW shows. I am somewhat interested in Superman and Lois. I don't have high expectations for it. We'll see what happens. But I want to tune off of Superman real quick and talk about Batwoman for a second. So Batwoman's ratings are terrible, okay? And they're trying to hype it up again. They're trying to hype season 2 slyly by saying Azrael is coming, and that has potential, but it's kind of too little too late. They've wanted to try to prop this show up without using these kind of bat elements until the very end. It's almost like too little too late, in my opinion. But the show is in a really bad place. And then today they announced this. Batwoman, Superman, and Lois crossover planned for 2021. The CW's Mark Pedowitz revealed that the network is planning a 2-hour crossover event featuring Batwoman and Superman. Sorry, my manners. I would hate to mistake her with the character that people actually wanted a show on. But instead, they got a show that disgraces the character that they love. Told that the suit will be perfect now that it fits a woman. All this weird nonsense. The show is terrible. Okay, that's why it's losing. That's why it's losing viewers left and right, because it sucks. And I think it's hilarious that they ordered 20 episodes of the show. Now, all of the shows have been delayed due to everything going on right now. So all of the CW Arrowverse shows are delayed until pretty much 2021. I think Superman and Stargirl are going to come out January 2021. And then the rest of the shows are going to come out a little bit later. Now, that could change. I don't know. But what I do find funny is that they have Superman and Lois crossover planned for 2021. So here's what's funny about that. So this show is going to get hyped. Like, people do like this Tyler guy as Superman. People like how he plays the character. This show has a lot of potential to be a big hit because it's Superman. Come on, it's Superman. It has a lot of potential. So it's funny to me. They're like, well, why don't we use this show to prop up Batwoman? Which is what it seems like to me. Like, wouldn't it make more sense for him to do a crossover with Supergirl? But out of nowhere, he's just going to cross over with Batwoman? So they're literally going to use the show to simp for Batwoman. That's really what's going on here. Okay, we got a show that's going to have massive appeal. A lot of people are going to tune in that have probably never watched a lot of these shows just because it's Superman. Okay, so we're going to bring him in. And what's the first big event we're going to do? We're going to have him cross over with Batwoman, a show nobody cares about at all. It screams desperation to me, and maybe I'm reading into this a little bit too much, but I don't think so. I think they know exactly what they're doing here. Like, this is a desperate attempt to get people to come on and watch a show because this doesn't seem organic. Now, if it was Batman, yeah, but it's just the characters haven't even really interacted that much in the comic books, but they're going to get a 2-hour special. This is exactly what they're doing. They're using this to hype up Batwoman. Okay, we're going to get a whole new audience coming here. Let's see if we can get in here to watch this stupid show. It would be funny, and I'll predict it right now. This is what exactly is going to happen. Superman and Lois is going to come out, and it's going to have big numbers. Okay, then they're going to do this crossover, and you could potentially, unless if it's bad, and I don't know anything involving Batwoman and her stale acting and woke nonsense can be entertaining. But let's say they put the politics aside and they just deliver a solid show, which I don't think is going to happen. You'll get a spike in Batwoman, and then they'll have, their nonsense of talking and woke garbage, and then everyone's going to dip out again. And it's funny, I would be willing to predict they get a 200,000 rating boost for like 1 or 2 episodes, and then the show tanks back down to what it was almost immediately because people are like, F this, and they're out. I bet you that's what happens. Now, that's speculation, but we'll check back in. Please, if anyone can remember to mark this down and remember my prediction, and then we'll see if it comes true. I bet you it does. But anyway, let's go over their plans here. It's not very long. The CW is planning to have Batwoman crossover with Superman and Lois in 2021. According to Deadline, Mark Pedowitz, who is the chairman and CEO of the CW, claimed the network is planning a 2-hour crossover event with the heroes. However, due to production shutdown caused by everything going on right now, the event wasn't given a firm time frame and instead will happen sometime between January and June of 2021. We're still working on it, Pedowitz said. It will be a smaller event than usual. We're only planning a 2-hour event. We are talking about doing Superman and Batwoman together. There's a lot of characters coming from our other shows. Batwoman, which debuted in 2019, was quickly greenlit for a second season, which was a huge mistake. I still can't believe they gave that show 20 episodes in its first season. A lot of other shows only get like 12 or 13. They gave the show a full season, which is really hilarious. And it's going to be funny to see how this works. Are they going to give Superman 20 episodes? I bet you they only give it like 13. And lucky for you, 2 of those are going to have Batwoman in it. Are you excited now? Please be excited. So anyway, the series follows Kate Kane working to clean up Gotham City alongside Luke Fox, Jacob Kane, and Mary Hamilton and Sophie Moore. The hero's inaugural season has pit Batwoman against Alice, who is in actuality Kate's long-lost sister. In her first season, Batwoman crossed over with the rest of the CW superhero shows for the Crisis on Infinite Earths and gained no extra viewers from it at all. In fact, the show's ratings got worse after that event. And that event was hype. There was real hype for that event. Even I tuned in for some of it because they were bringing all kinds of stuff back. Like I said, they brought back the old Christopher Reeve Superman. They brought back a lot of other stuff too. Like you had Kevin Conroy jumping in there, Burt Ward. They brought in a little bit of elements from the Michael Keaton universe, all kinds of stuff. You know, that's interesting. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then, you know, you watch it and it's all a bunch of nonsense. They got the Smallville Superman came back and they even kind of messed him up. It's just like, come on. So, like, it's funny. A lot of people tuned in. I imagine a lot of people that aren't watching any of the CW garbage jumped in to watch Crisis on Infinite Earths. All those new faces, and you couldn't convert any of them to watch Batwoman. So now you're going to have a Superman and Lois show, and you're going to use that show to prop up your nonsense. And I still have big questions on this Superman and Lois show. How much you want to bet Lois is going to be the focus? Superman's going to kind of simp and be a wuss, and she's going to walk all over him and all kinds of stuff. I'm willing to bet that's probably what's going to happen. Like I said, I don't have high expectations for it, but I'm still going to check it out because I'm a big Superman fan. We'll see what happens. But anyway, Superman and Lois received a series order in advance of its pilot. While there are still a lot of mysteries surrounding the pilot, Tyler Hoechlin, probably saying that wrong, will reprise his role as Clark Kent Superman, and Elizabeth Tulich will return as Lois Lane. Jordan Ellis will play Jonathan Kent, while Alexander Garfin will play Jordan Kent, will bring Jordan Kent to life. The two are the sons of Superman and Lois. So, we'll see. John Kent is actually a real character, by the way. Like I said, if you've never read Superman Rebirth, I highly suggest checking it out. It's a great, great, great run. Way better than anything on the CW trash. But who knows? Maybe it'll be good. Maybe Superman and Lois will be a great show. I hope it is. I would love for a great Superman and Lois show. You used to have a great one back in the day with Dean Cain called The Adventure. Was it The New Adventures of Lois and Clark? I think was the name of the show. That show was great. If they could just channel that at all, like you could have a great show. We'll see what happens. You know, I don't know. I don't want to cut it too short. I'm willing to have a slither of hope. I just think it's hilarious that they're going to use it to prop up this trash show. Who knows? You know, who knows? Maybe Batwoman will bounce back and be a good show next year. I highly doubt it, but we'll see. Time will tell. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me your thoughts. What do you think about this crossover? Do you agree? Do you think it's to prop up old Kate Kane to give her a new audience? If that Crisis on Infinite Earths couldn't do it, I don't know what else can. Anyway, yeah, leave me your thoughts on that. Throw a like up. Share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that and subscribe if you're new.